Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome to today's live. My name is Linda. I'm your back in the groove again coach. I do lives about 2 or 3 times a week, and they're not always at the same time. So it's sometimes difficult to have viewers, but usually people pop in, and when you will be popping in, or if you view the replay, just write hashtag replay as well in the comment section. So I'm your back in the groove again coach. I'm a career coach, and I work primarily with women who want to discover or rediscover their ideal careers. And over the last few weeks, I've been talking about work, and I've been talking about skills and strengths. Today, I want to focus on how to identify potential employers. Hello, how are you? Type your name in the chat box, please. I'd love to know who's watching. So I want to talk about employers and how you choose employers. And the reason I want to talk a little bit about this is because oftentimes we are desperate to look for a job, and we start sending our resumes everywhere and anywhere. And then we find out that maybe we don't really want to work for the company, and we end up in a job that we're unhappy with. So I'm going to suggest that before you start sending resumes out, if you are looking for work, that is, because I want to talk a little bit about businesses too. If you do have the intention of looking for work and applying for jobs, you want to make sure that whoever you choose is aligned with what you want to do, right? That you are able to offer your service to this company. So before you start sending out resumes, you want to research this company. You want to determine, will this company be able to help you reach your long-term goals, which suggests that you need to know what your long-term goals are. You want to also consider what type of salary they pay. Is that aligned with your personal goals as well? You want to decide whether or not this company has a great culture. What is the atmosphere like at this company? Are you going to be able to fit in with this company? Do they offer training? Do they offer orientation? So take a look at their website. Maybe they have certain products that they sell. So you want to look at what types of products do they sell, who are their customers, so that when you, hello, how are you today? Write your name in the chat box. I want to know who's listening. So when you're looking at the company, the website, the products, who they serve, that you're better able to decide whether or not this company is worth investing your time in. And if you are interested in this company, you can go on LinkedIn and start following them so that you can be informed when there's changes within the company, when they're announcing certain news, and when there's changes in terms of employees are leaving. So you want to start following certain companies as well, so that you can be informed and updated in terms of whatever changes they're going through. So that's a little bit on how to identify companies. The other thing I'm going to mention too is, there are certain companies that offer their services 24 hours a day, like hospitals, for example, right? So you want to know what are their work hours. And, if you don't want to work night shift or evenings, and this company offers the opportunity to do that, well, you might not want to apply there. So there's a lot of different things to consider. You might want to even write out a list of criteria that are important for you in terms of an employer. What's your ideal employer? All right. I want to talk a little bit about businesses as well, because a lot of people now are deciding to get involved in an online business. And a lot of people on Facebook, for example, are selling different products through Facebook. So the idea is the same. Hello, who may I ask is viewing me? Type your name in the chat box. I'd love to see who's watching me right now. Write your name down, please, in the chat box. And you can also tell me, do you work or do you offer a service or a product online? You know, there's a lot of different companies now that are being offered online. Tupperware is offering services online now, of course. There are some cosmetics that are being sold online. There's a lot of health products there that are being offered online. So I want to talk a little bit about that. It's similar to identifying an ideal employer. You know, before you decide to sell a product online, what do you think is important to consider? Whoever's watching me, what do you think is important to consider if you want to sell a product online? Well, I'm going to suggest that you consider the company, of course, researching the company, researching the reputation of the company, how long this company has been around. And of course, being mindful of the information that's being shared on the internet. So not just looking at their company website, but you might also want to read some reviews that were written by impartial people in terms of the company, in terms of the products, because there are a lot of health products, for example, or a lot of different types of products that are being sold. And so what I'm going to suggest, and this is just my personal opinion, I'm not a business coach, I'm a career coach, right? I want to make sure that if you decide to get into a particular business, that it works well for your values. Hello, PP, or hello, how are you? Thanks for watching right now. And so if you do plan on selling a product online, because obviously, especially with the COVID, a lot of people lost their jobs, and a lot of women particularly, but men as well, have started to look at alternatives, ways of making money, but by selling products online. And there's a lot, right? There's a lot. It's overwhelming. Nice to talk to you. Thank you. Nice to talk with you. Do you sell a product online, PP? Do you sell a product online? Now, I'm not here to promote one product or another, right? I'm not here to do that. I'm very good. Thank you. I'm very good. Thank you. Now, as a career coach, I always suggest to my clients, those that I work with, to make informed decisions in terms of where they send their resumes to, right? You don't want to send your resume everywhere and anywhere. You want to invest a bit of time researching the company, and I'm suggesting the same for online businesses, online products. So you want to make sure that the product that you're going to be marketing or thinking of marketing is aligned with your values. And I know that there are people that have tried the product before investing in selling the product. They've tried it, they liked it, and they then believe in that product. And I think that's one great way of doing it, right? So if you decide to invest in any type of company to sell products, if you can try the product ahead of time, if you can ask for samples so that you could see if you could try the product ahead of time, that might be a good way of doing it. Now, I also think that you can, and I'm talking with a little bit of experience here. Now, I'll just give you a little bit of background. I have tried to sell products online many years ago. And many years ago, the way that the services were being offered or products were being sold was very, very different than now. You know, very, very different than now. We would sometimes be invited to a meeting and we would be introduced to the product at a meeting. So it was very, very different. So Gary Holt, I'm not sure what this means. Peggy, and I'm not sure if this is Peggy or if this is Gary right now. I'm not sure. Can you tell me a little bit more, Peggy? If you are Peggy, or if Gary Holt is a product, can you tell me a little bit more? Because I'm not sure right now what you're referring to. So, you know, many, many years ago, how you were introduced to a business or an online service or a service that was offered through delivery, like a multi-level type of marketing service, it was done very, very different than now. So I'm still going to encourage you to research the company before you decide to invest in it, of course, to read the reviews, the company reviews, the product reviews before you decide to invest in it. Now, a lot of times you might be invited to a Zoom meeting, which is great, right? You want to be able to participate in the meeting and listen to how people are interacting, but keeping in mind too that most businesses will tell you that their products are awesome, and they probably are correct. Maybe their products are awesome, but they're all going to tell you that, right? I mean, who would say that don't buy our products because they suck? Nobody would tell you that. And so it might be an idea to sit into on different types of meetings, not just one business. Unless you've already made your decision, that's okay. But if you're not sure, then I'm going to suggest that before making a decision in terms of which product you want to sell or which company you want to invest in, that you sit in on different calls, that you sit in on different Zoom calls and start comparing notes, start asking yourself questions about these products, and you might want to ask, you know, specific questions so that you can compare one company to the next before you decide which one you invest in, right? Hello, thanks for joining me. So I was talking, you know, during this live, I was talking about how to determine which employers to send your resume to. You know, you want to identify those employers according to your values, and the same thing with a business. So in other words, you really need to know what you, no, thank you. Let me show this. Thank you. Thank you, Catherine. I appreciate that. So I'm kind of talking about two different things here, Catherine. I'm talking about choosing employers to send your resume, but also before investing in a particular company, whatever that product is, to do your research as well. Instead of accepting to start selling a product blindly because you're wanting to, you know, increase your revenue, to just hold off a bit and to research this company a bit more and to maybe even compare companies before deciding to invest in it. Not that you can't get out of a company, just like you can't quit a job once you start it, but you don't necessarily want to invest time in a company, whether it's for work or for selling a product. You don't want to invest time in getting trained and so on, and then find out that you don't really want to work there, or you don't really want to, you know, sell that product. And sometimes there are certain products that are only sold in certain countries, which could be limiting for some people, or maybe not. So, you know, you want to ask different types of questions. Is this product only sold in the United States, for example? Or can I sell this product anywhere in the world. And of course, the other question to ask, and I said, like I said before, I'm not a business coach, so obviously I haven't thought of every possible question to ask, but it's about shipping and delivery. Right? Because your clients, your customers are going to want to know this, and they don't want to necessarily pay an arm and a leg to pay for shipping and delivering and so on. So you might have to find this information out before you decide to say, okay, yeah, I think this is a great company to invest my time. I believe in these products. I know I'm going to be able to sell these products, and I already have a clientele in mind, because with I know as a coach, I need to consider who I'm going to be targeting in terms of who I'm going to be selling my services to. In my case, I'm a career coach, and I target my services more to women. And so when you're thinking of a company that you want to sell your products to, you might also want to consider, who can I sell my products to? You might need to be very, very specific and target a particular niche or a particular group. You also want to know, and it's the same thing with a business, or if you're employer or sending resumes to companies, will you get training on the job? So with the business, will you receive training to help you sell this product? I think this is something that's equally important to consider. Will there be coaching meetings when you're in the business to continue to support you while you're trying to sell your product? Much like with a company, will you get ongoing support? Who will you be able to talk to or talk with if you're having problems at work? Same thing with the company, right? If you invest in a business or products, who will you be able to talk to or with if you do have problems with with the product, or having to return a certain product? So before you and I'm going to be ending my call in just a few minutes, but before you decide to send your resume or to invest in a company to sell products, do your research and think about what is truly important for you, right? And so, just by the way, I'm going to be preparing a 5-day challenge. Now, I don't have the date just yet, but I'm working on a 5-day challenge to help women market themselves, self-market themselves, and to come up with a personal brand. So I'm currently working on this as a 5-day challenge. I'll keep you guys posted when I'm ready to launch this challenge. It will be offered through my group, which is the Back in the Groove Again group for women. So it's going to be offered through there, and it's going to be a great challenge because it's going to help you, the women, to identify what makes you unique. So something that's going to be great, which once you have that, then you'll be able to really feel confident about your services, your skills, your assets to market yourself to a company, or maybe even to some clients as well. All right, so that's all I wanted to say. Thanks. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments when you do listen to the replay. And if you are listening to the replay, please just write #replay. Oh, I see somebody else has joined me. Hello, Simo. How are you? I'm almost finished this live, but if anybody has questions about what I've said today, please write them in the chat box, comment section, and I'll return your messages as well. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye now. Have a great evening as well. Bye now.